The Internet of Things is considered the network of physical objects connected by software, sensors, and other things that allow them to share and collect data. It can allow one to manipulate any electrical appliance in the home from the touch of their smartphone. Over the course of 2014, smart technology network provider iControl conducted a series of surveys that were geared toward the American consumer. It was found that the majority of folks surveyed were quite interested in smart home technology. Furthermore, 32% of all parties surveyed considered themselves tech enthusiasts, meaning that they would like to see nearly all of their appliances in their home connected via a shared network. With the amount of this tech already deployed, it would seem that the American consumer is willing to buy into this convenient change of pace in networking technology. However, general curiosity may pose a question relating to the consequences of this new unprecedented level of interconnectivity. What are we really trading away for the sake of convenience? The true digital age is nigh. The Internet of Things knocks on our door, almost demanding our immediate participation. This is evident by some of the figures that we've collected demonstrating the alarming rate of increase in devices with networking capability. The Internet of Things includes smart home appliances, city grids, robotics technology, etc. Even if you truly believe that you're not a part of the Internet of Things, chances are you're wrong. Cisco published in a 2013 article that there were an estimated 10 billion devices actively connected to the Internet of Things. Furthermore, this apparently only accounts for 0.06% of all devices in existence, meaning the grand total of devices ranges close to 1.5 trillion. According to data collected from statisticians at Statista, the smart home market seems to be on the rise indefinitely. From 2013, the reported sum total of the North and South American markets were around 7.9 billion US dollars, are now projected to grow to a whopping $22.4 billion. The devices in that same time span in North America have been projected to grow from 5.5 million to a staggering 31.4 million devices. It would appear then that we do in fact have more than a decent amount to worry about in the area of consumer protection and regulation practices related to this unparalleled increase in interconnectivity.
Smart home technology has many days ahead of it. It will probably bring societal changes, but most certainly economic disruptions. According to CB Insights data, smart home startups took in a little over $1 billion in funding between 2012 and 2014, and it is expected to grow. But as one gets bigger, what will the growth of this new technology undo? We first think of small traditional businesses. As postal services barely survive today since email services took over, we think that small players such as locksmiths will disappear, being unable to compete due to high barriers to entry. With some smart home companies receiving upwards of $30 million in funding, competition from the small businesses is close to impossible. Besides financial barriers, they also face technical hurdles, being that smart home products are built using the latest technologies that they don't have access to.
Zigbee, Z-Wave, and other standards exist to facilitate communication between smart devices using encryption and other techniques to protect against intrusion. But it only takes just one product to bring down the entire system. Today, there are hundreds of companies producing thousands of products to use these standards. For many of these companies, network security is new to them and their products can be compromised via basic methods. For one product, researchers found that when a new device was discovered nearby, it would send an unencrypted network key to it via Wi-Fi, something that any sniffing program could pick up. Another set of products could be compromised with a simple replay attack. A nearby hacker could simply monitor the local network from afar until a command is sent to the smart devices. They could store that command and send it to the devices at a later time, allowing complete control of the products. Another method of attack for some products is to persuade them to join a new controlling hub by simply sending them a new communication key. Such an attack would be quick and allow entry into a home. A recent trend for smart home products is the ability to control them with voice commands, with many of the new products being compatible with most other popular devices. This allows for complete control of the home by simply sending commands to one product. What most of these products do not, however, have is the ability to determine who is giving it the commands. It's not hard to imagine the damage that could be done if a hacker was able to speak to such a device, commanding it to turn off the home surveillance or unlock the front door. Each of the weaknesses mentioned here have one thing in common. They begin with one product and end with a person's home open to the attacker with relative ease.
When all of your security items are connected to the same hub, what happens when someone cuts power to that hub? Does your Nest camera shut off and the smart lock on your door auto-unlock? No matter how smart your new system is, if there is no manual backup for your system, it is just as inefficient as the camera in this picture. Some damages that can come from this may seem harmless in the physical sense, like slowing your internet connection or harvesting private information, while other potential harms could skip right over silent and go straight to deadly. A product as seemingly harmless as your smart toaster could become the cause of a house fire once hacked by someone with malicious intent. A commercial about your new voice-activated stove could cause a very real fire without any third party even entering your network. Many of these potential problems can be avoided with proper implementation of security regulations to manage the Internet of Things. There are many principles in the Code of Ethics which may be applied to help guide these regulations. Under the product principle, engineers following the code are reminded by points 307, 314, and 315 that the engineer is responsible for both correct implementation and maintenance of their software. This means knowing how to correctly integrate their software with Zigbees to maintain the integrity of data and to professionally handle the maintenance of their products. An unpatched or no longer maintained product is just as dangerous as an untested one. As these new products begin to develop more and more, new regulations will be needed to protect both the users and the producers. It will not be long before the internet becomes just as mythic as electricity. Government organizations are beginning to stress the importance of consumer protection related to the Internet of Things, including smart home technology. Judy Brill, the U.S. Federal Trade Commissioner, addressed her colleagues in her keynote address for Euroforum European Data Protection Days. Her argument is that if the issues of data privacy and security are addressed and regulated more strongly than they are currently, then the Internet of Things can be used for great improvements. The decision between right and wrong is not always easy, but it is always necessary. We agree with Brill, and that the technology is ultimately benign in nature. However, we need to create a standardized set of regulations for all of these technologies, or as Brill calls it, a common set of rules for all players. We believe that this is the next vital step in making this technology an effective part of our society.